stop, don't scroll, don't skip, don't blink. Archangel Michael says, if you leave right now, you lose both of us forever. You have 2 minutes. That's it. 2 minutes before they seal it back up, and you never see what's inside. Listen to me, a file with your name on it just cracked open in the court of heaven. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, right now. Golden ink, divine seal, a flame burning around the edges. This is not motivation. This is not inspiration. This is a classified record that heaven kept locked until this exact second. My beloved child, you didn't stumble here. You were pulled. That tightness in your chest right now, that sudden stillness, that pressure behind your eyes you can't explain, that's your spirit waking up because it recognizes what your mind doesn't yet know. Heaven called you by name, and if you scroll away, the window slams shut. I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here because Archangel Michael stood before the throne and said, they need to see this before it's too late. You've been tired, forgotten, pushed aside. You've wondered if God even remembers you exist. He does. And today, he's proving it. But you gotta stay with me. Don't move. Don't swipe. Don't let your mind wander. Because what I'm about to read from your file is going to shake you to your core. Right now, type Amen in the comments. Not for me. For heaven. So the angels marking attendance know you showed up. And hit subscribe right now, because this isn't a game. Alignment is stewardship. You don't get to miss miracles twice. Stay with me. In 60 seconds, I'm reading the first line heaven wrote about you. And when you hear it, you're gonna know without a shadow of doubt that this message was meant for you alone. Stage 1. Diagnosis 414. My beloved child, I need you to hear me close right now. You're tired. Not the kind of tired a nap fixes. Not the kind of tired a vacation solves. You're tired in your bones, in your spirit. In that deep place where hope used to live before life wore it down to nothing. You've been showing up for years, decades, when nobody clapped, when nobody noticed, when nobody said, thank you. You kept going when your body screamed stop, when your heart broke so many times you lost count, when the world moved on and left you standing there wondering if you even mattered anymore. And you're still here, still breathing, still trying, still holding it together even though you're barely holding on. Heaven sees that. Michael sees that. I see that. You've been carrying grief like a second spine, my child. Like an invisible weight strapped to your back that nobody else can see but you feel every single morning when you open your eyes. Maybe it's someone you lost. Someone whose absence carved a hole in your life so deep you don't talk about it anymore because talking doesn't bring them back. Maybe it's a dream you buried, a future you thought you'd have, a version of your life that never came true. And now you're here, older, warier, wondering if this is all there is. Let me tell you something. Heaven didn't forget you just because life didn't turn out the way you thought. Your file is open right now because something's about to shift. But stay with me. Don't scroll. I'm not done reading your life yet. The bills don't care how old you are, do they? They don't care that you worked hard your whole life, that you did everything right, that you saved when you could and sacrificed when you had to. The rent comes. The electric bill comes, the medication costs keep climbing, and you, my beloved, you stretch $1 until it cries. You calculate every purchase. You skip things you need because someone else needs it more. You make do. You go without. And the shame of it sits on your chest like a stone because you're embarrassed to admit you're scared. Scared the money will run out. Scared you'll become a burden. Scared that after a lifetime of giving, there's nothing left for you. You don't say it out loud. Maybe you don't even say it to God because you're afraid he's tired of hearing you ask. But he's not tired, my child. Your file says different. Your file says heaven's been watching you make miracles out of crumbs, watching you keep your dignity when the world tried to take it, watching you survive on grit and prayer when the math didn't add up. And there's a line in golden ink that says, enough. Enough stretching, enough struggling, enough shame. There's a financial shift written in your file, and I'm going to tell you about it before this message ends. But you gotta stay. Don't leave. Not yet. Every ache feels like a question now, doesn't it? Is this serious? Is this the beginning of something worse? Should I call the doctor? Or am I just getting old? Your body talks to you in a language you don't want to understand. Pain in places that didn't used to hurt. Tiredness that doesn't go away. A slowness creeping in that reminds you time is not your friend anymore. And the worst part? You smile through it. You don't want to burden your kids. You don't want to worry anyone. So you say you're fine when you're not fine. You sit in the doctor's waiting room alone because you told everyone you could handle it. And then you come home, lock the door, sit in the silence, and the loneliness is louder than anything. My beloved child, you have been so strong for so long that you forgot it's okay to be weak. It's okay to be scared. It's okay to say, I don't know how much longer I can do this. God knows. Michael knows. And your file, listen to me now, your file has a healing decree written across the top in letters of fire. Not someday, not maybe. Soon. I'm going to tell you when. I'm going to tell you how to prepare. But you have to stay with me. Don't scroll. Don't turn away. This is your moment. Let me ask you something, and I want you to be honest, even if it's just between you and heaven. How many people climbed on your back to get where they are? How many people used your kindness like a ladder and then kicked it away when they didn't need you anymore? You gave, and gave, and gave. You showed up. You helped. You sacrificed. And when it was your turn to need something, silence. When it was your turn to be seen, they looked right past you. Someone benefited from everything you poured out, your time, your energy, your love, your money, and then acted like you were nothing, like you were invisible, like you didn't matter. And it didn't just hurt, my child, it broke something inside you. Because betrayal from a stranger is one thing, but betrayal from someone you loved, someone you trusted, someone you would have done anything for, that cuts different. That leaves scars you can't see but feel every single day. I know you've asked God why. Why did they get to walk away unscathed while you're still picking up the pieces? Why does it seem like the people who hurt you are doing just fine while you're stuck here, still bleeding, still broke, still alone? Heaven heard every one of those questions, and your file has an answer. A reckoning is written, not vengeance but justice, divine justice. The kind that doesn't need you to lift a finger, the kind that moves in heaven first, then shows up in the earth so clearly you'll know it was God. I'm going to tell you exactly what's coming for the people who used you. But more than that, I'm going to tell you what's coming for you. Stay with me. Don't move. You thought your tears were private, didn't you? You thought the nights you cried in the dark, when no one was watching, when you muffled the sound so nobody would hear, you thought those were just between you and the ceiling. But heaven has a record, my beloved. Every single tear. Not one fell to the ground unnoticed. Not one was wasted. Your file contains a list, a long list, written in ink that doesn't fade. Every tear you cried when the diagnosis came. Every tear you cried when the check bounced. Every tear you cried when they walked away. Every tear you cried when you felt forgotten. And next to each tear, listen to me now, next to each tear is a decision heaven made because of it, not in spite of it, because of it. Your suffering didn't fall into a void, my child. It activated something. It triggered a release, a shift, a turning point. And today, right now, as you're hearing this, that shift is already in motion. You didn't find this message by accident. You were pulled here because your file just opened and the first decree is about to be read aloud. Don't scroll. Don't skip ahead. In just a moment, I'm going to tell you the one sentence written at the top of your file that's going to change everything. But first, type this in the comments. I am seen. Say it. Declare it. Let heaven know you're still here and you're ready to receive what's been held for you. Type it now. I am seen. Because you are, my beloved. You are. Stage 2. Spiritual explanation 1424-0. Now let me tell you something that's going to shift everything you thought you understood about your life. You weren't rejected, my child. You were protected. I know it didn't feel like protection. I know it felt like abandonment. Like God looked the other way while your world fell apart. But listen to me close. Some doors stayed shut because you weren't meant to walk through them wounded. Some relationships ended because if they had continued, they would have destroyed you. Some opportunities closed because the timing was wrong, and heaven knew what you didn't. That door was a trap dressed up like a blessing. You thought you were being denied, but you were being redirected. The Bible says it like this: He makes all things beautiful in His time. Not your time, His time. And His time isn't late, my beloved. It's precise. Every delay you experienced, every detour you didn't understand, every moment you felt stuck while everyone else seemed to be moving forward, that wasn't punishment. That was preparation. Heaven was refining you, stripping away what didn't belong, burning off the things that would have weighed you down in the season you're about to enter. You know what gold goes through before it shines? Fire. Not a little warmth, not a gentle heat. Scorching, relentless fire that melts away every impurity until all that's left is pure gold. That's what you've been walking through, my child. And your file, the one that just opened in heaven, it says you're coming out of the fire now. Not the same. Better. Stronger. Wiser. Unbreakable. Stay with me. Don't scroll. I'm about to show you why this happened to you and not someone else. Let me tell you something about being chosen that nobody talks about. Chosen doesn't mean favored with ease. Chosen means entrusted with weight. It means God looked at your spirit before you were born and said, "This one can handle what's coming. This one won't break. This one will stand when others fall." You think it's a coincidence that your life has been harder than most. It's not. The enemy doesn't waste time fighting people who don't matter. He doesn't attack people who aren't a threat to his kingdom. But you, my beloved child, you've had hell on your heels since day one because the enemy saw what heaven saw. You're dangerous. Not in a worldly way. In a spiritual way. Your prayers move things in the unseen realm. Your worship shifts atmospheres. Your faith, even when it's hanging by a thread, terrifies the darkness because it refuses to let go of God. That's why you've been under attack. That's why it's felt like everything that could go wrong did go wrong. That's why you've been isolated, betrayed, financially squeezed, physically worn down. The enemy wanted you to quit, to give up, to stop believing that God had anything good left for you. But you didn't quit, did you? You're still here, still standing, still breathing, still believing, even if it's just barely. And that, my child, is why your file just opened. Because heaven said, "Enough. They've proven themselves. Now it's time to release what we've been holding." Type this in the comments right now. I am chosen. Not because you're better than anyone else, but because God saw something in you that the world tried to kill and couldn't. Say it. Declare it. Let heaven hear you claim your identity. I am chosen. Now let me show you something that's going to blow your mind. Heaven doesn't forget, my beloved. Heaven doesn't lose track. Every single thing that happened to you, every betrayal, every injustice, every moment someone took advantage of your kindness and threw you away like you were nothing, heaven recorded it. Your file isn't just about you. It's about them too. The people who lied to you, the people who used you, the people who smiled in your face and stabbed you in the back. Heaven kept receipts. Not because God is petty, but because God is just. And justice, real justice, doesn't come from you trying to settle the score. It comes from heaven stepping in and saying, "I'll handle this." You know what the Bible says? "Vengeance is mine, says the Lord. I will repay." You don't have to lift a finger, my child. You don't have to prove your case. You don't have to defend yourself. You don't have to make anyone see the truth. Heaven already knows the truth, and your file contains a verdict, a divine reckoning that's already in motion. The people who hurt you, they're about to face something they didn't see coming, not because you cursed them, but because heaven said their season of getting away with it is over. And you're about to see God move on your behalf in a way that leaves no doubt it was Him. Stay with me. Don't move. I'm not done yet. But right now, I need you to do something. I need you to type this in the comments. I am ready to receive. This isn't just a comment, my beloved. This is your consent, your agreement with heaven that you're ready to turn the page. Ready to step out of the season of suffering and into the season of restoration. Heaven needs to hear you say it. Type it now. I am ready to receive. Because what I'm about to tell you next requires you to be in full alignment. Now let me read you something from your file that made even the angels hold their breath. There's a line written across the top in gold ink, not silver, not white, gold. And it says this: only disclose when they are ready to ascend. Do you understand what that means, my child? It means heaven has been holding something back, not to punish you, to protect you. Because what's written in this file, what's about to be released into your life, is so powerful, so life-altering, so completely beyond anything you've experienced before that heaven said, we can't give this to them until they're strong enough to carry it. And today, right now, heaven made the decision. You're ready. Your season has shifted. Not next year, not someday. Now, the delay is over. The waiting is finished. The test is complete. You passed, my beloved. Even when you thought you were failing, even when you felt like you were barely hanging on, you passed. And now the door is opening. But I'm not going to read you the first line of your file yet. Not yet. Because your spirit needs to be steady. Your mind needs to be clear. Your heart needs to be open. If I tell you now what heaven wrote about your next chapter, your emotions will overwhelm you, and you'll miss the instructions that come with it. So stay with me. Don't scroll. Don't skip ahead. In just a few minutes, I'm going to read the first line written in your file, the sentence that's going to redefine everything you thought about your future. But before I do, there's something else you need to see. Something about your past that's going to make everything make sense. Something about the weight you've been carrying that you were never supposed to carry in the first place. Stay with me, my child. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. But if you leave now, if you scroll away before I finish, you'll miss the one piece of information that unlocks everything else. Don't do that to yourself. You've come too far. You've survived too much. You've held on through too many nights of wondering if God even remembered your name. He does, and I'm about to prove it. Stage 3. Heaven's verdict, 24-0, 34-0. My beloved child. Heaven just spoke, and when heaven speaks, the room goes silent. The angels stopped moving. The court stood still, and across the top of your file, in letters that burn like fire, one word was written: enough. Enough tears shed in the dark where nobody saw. Enough manipulation from people who smiled to your face and schemed behind your back. Enough loss, enough delay. Enough watching the wrong people win while you suffered in silence. Heaven said, enough, not as a whisper, as a decree. And when heaven decrees something, my child, the entire spiritual atmosphere shifts to obey. This is not revenge. Let me be clear about that, because I know your heart. I know you're not wired for hatred. You're tired of the fight. You just want peace. This is not about you getting even. This is righteousness. This is the justice of a God who doesn't forget, who doesn't overlook, who keeps perfect records and settles every account in his time. And his time, listen to me now, his time just came. Stay with me. Don't scroll, because what I'm about to tell you is going to feel like cool water on a burn you've been carrying for years. The person who played with your heart is about to face a truth they can't outrun, not because you cursed them, not because you wished it, but because heaven has its own way of bringing things into the light. You know who I'm talking about, the one who used you, the one who took and never gave back, the one who knew exactly what they were doing when they lied to your face, made promises they never intended to keep, and walked away like you were nothing. Maybe it was family, maybe it was a friend, maybe it was someone you loved so deeply you would have given them your last breath if they asked. And they betrayed you anyway. My beloved, their mask is about to come off. Not violently, not dramatically, but thoroughly. Heaven doesn't need lightning bolts to expose the truth. Heaven just removes the grace that was holding their image together. And when that grace lifts, people start to see what was always there but hidden. Stories collapse, lies unravel, support systems shift. The very people who believed them, who sided with them, who made you feel crazy for questioning them, they're going to start seeing cracks. Little things at first, inconsistencies, behavior that doesn't add up, words that don't match actions. And then the bigger picture starts to form. And suddenly, the person who made you look like the problem becomes the problem everyone else can finally see. You won't have to say a word, my child. You won't have to defend yourself. You won't have to prove anything. Heaven will do it for you. Doors that were open to them will close. Opportunities they thought were guaranteed will evaporate. Favor they took for granted will dry up. Not because God is petty, but because alignment matters. And when someone lives out of alignment with truth, with integrity, with love, the universe itself begins to resist them. That's what's written in your file. That's the verdict heaven just handed down. And it's already in motion, my beloved. Already moving. Already unfolding in ways you can't see yet, but you will. You will. Now let me tell you what else is in your file. Because this isn't just about what's being taken from them. This is about what's being returned to you. God is a restorer, not just a judge. A restorer. And restoration doesn't always look like money, though we'll get to that in a second, because yes, your finances are absolutely on this page. But sometimes restoration is your peace coming back. The peace you lost when they made you doubt yourself, when they twisted your words, when they made you feel small and confused and crazy. That peace is coming back, my child, like a river that's been dammed up for years, suddenly breaking free. You're going to wake up one morning soon and realize you're not thinking about them anymore. You're not replaying the conversations. You're not wondering what you could have done differently. You're just free. That's restoration. Sometimes restoration is your voice coming back. The voice you silenced because every time you spoke up, you were shut down, dismissed, told you were too sensitive, too emotional, too much. You learned to be quiet, to shrink, to disappear. But heaven says your voice matters, and it's coming back stronger, clearer, sharper than it's ever been. You're going to speak, and people are going to listen. You're going to set a boundary, and it's going to hold. You're going to say no and feel no guilt. That's restoration. And yes, my beloved, since I know the question sitting in your chest, yes, your finances are on this page. Right there, third line down, written in golden ink that doesn't fade. Release the abundance that was blocked. Not someday, not when you're more spiritual or more deserving or more whatever lie the enemy told you. Now, the financial pressure you've been under is about to ease. Not because you won the lottery, not because someone handed you a check, though don't be surprised if unexpected money shows up, because it might. but because the spiritual blockage that's been sitting on your finances just got removed. Doors you've been knocking on are about to swing open. Opportunities you thought passed you by are circling back. Resources you didn't know existed are about to make themselves known. You're entering a season where provision doesn't require striving, where you're not stretching every dollar until it screams, where you can breathe, where you can rest, where you can finally stop worrying about how you're going to make it through the month. Heaven saw you making miracles out of nothing for too long, my child, and the decree just came down. Enough. It's time for the overflow. Now I need you to do something, right now. In the comments, type these exact words: "The obstacle is removed." Not as a comment, as a signature. You're signing the document heaven just opened. You're agreeing with the verdict. You're saying yes to the justice, yes to the restoration, yes to the breakthrough. Type it. The obstacle is removed. And when you do, feel it leaving. Feel the weight lifting. Feel the chains breaking. This is not symbolic, my beloved. This is spiritual authority being activated in your life right now. And then hit the like button. Not because I need it, because you do. Hitting like is an act of agreement with heaven. It's you saying, I'm not begging anymore. I'm aligning. I'm stepping into what's already been decided for me. Do it now. And stay with me, because what I'm about to read next is going to shake you. Take a breath, my child, because the first line written at the top of your file, the very first sentence heaven wanted you to see, it says this: their former life has expired, not ended, not finished, expired, like a lease that ran out, like a season that's over, like a chapter that can't be reopened no matter how hard you try. Your former life, the one where you struggled and stretched and sacrificed and got nothing back, that life just got stamped with an expiration date. And heaven doesn't renew expired things, my beloved. Heaven replaces them. You're not going back to what was. You couldn't, even if you wanted to. The door is closed, sealed, locked from the other side. And in front of you, listen to me, now in front of you is a new door. One you've never walked through before. One that leads to a version of your life you didn't even know was possible. It's opening right now. And if you stay with me, I'm going to tell you exactly what's on the other side. Don't scroll. Don't move. Your new life is 60 seconds away. Stage 4. Turn the page. 34 to 0, 44 to 0. My beloved child, take a deep breath before I turn this page, because what I'm about to read is going to shake you. Your soul is ready. But your mind needs a second to catch up to what heaven's been planning while you weren't looking. Stay with me. Don't move. This is the first thing written when your file opened, and it's written in letters so bright I can barely look at them. Their former life is over, not ended, my child. Expired. You hear the difference? Ended means it got cut short. Ended means something took it from you. Expired means it ran its course. It served its purpose. It did what it was supposed to do, and now it's done. You can't go back to that version of your life even if you wanted to. The season that used to hold you, it released you. The pain that used to have power over you, it no longer has the right to live in your spirit. I know part of you feels grief right now, because even hard seasons become familiar. Even painful chapters feel safer than the unknown. But I also know there's relief rising in your chest, because you've been dragging something dead behind you for too long, and heaven just cut the rope. Let it go, my beloved. Let it go. Your former life expired so your new life could begin, and it's closer than you think. Stay with me. I'm reading the next part right now. My child, you've been carrying things that were never meant for you, burdens that didn't have your name on them, expectations that were placed on you by people who had no right to demand anything, shame that belonged to someone else but somehow ended up on your shoulders, worry about things you couldn't control, guilt about outcomes you couldn't change, responsibility for grown people who should have been taking care of themselves. You carried it all, and heaven watched you bend under the weight, watched you stumble, watched you keep going even when your knees buckled. But right now, this very second, as you're hearing these words, something is lifting. You might not see it yet, but you can feel it, can't you? That strange lightness in your chest, that soft opening, like your soul is remembering what it feels like to breathe without something crushing it. Heaven is removing the weight, my beloved, not piece by piece, all at once, like a cloak being pulled off your back, like chains falling to the ground, like a hand reaching down and taking the load you've been carrying and saying, "You don't need this anymore." Close your eyes for just a second, right where you are, and imagine God's hand on your shoulder, warm, steady, strong, and imagine Him reaching around and pulling off everything that wasn't yours to carry. Feel it leave. Feel the space it opens up. That's not imagination, my child. That's a healing decree happening in real time. Your file says the burden has been removed, and what's coming next is going to fill that space with something you haven't felt in years. Joy, peace, hope, clarity. Stay with me. The next page is about your money. My beloved, I need you to listen very carefully to what I'm about to say, because this is the page in your file that made me stop and read it twice. It says, "Their name has been raised to a higher level of abundance, not by chance, not by luck, not because you wished hard enough, by divine decree." Heaven looked at your financial struggle and said, "Enough. Enough stretching, enough lack, enough barely making it, enough shame about money. The spiritual blockage that's been standing between you and provision, it just got removed. And what's about to happen is going to feel like a dam breaking. Money that avoided you is going to start finding you. Opportunities you thought were closed are going to reopen. Approvals that got denied before are going to come back around, and this time they're going to say yes. Let me tell you what this looks like in the natural, my child, because heaven doesn't deal in vague promises. An unexpected check in the mail, a bill that gets settled out of nowhere, a refund you forgot about, a debt that gets forgiven, a job offer that appears when you weren't even looking, a side income that opens up. A person who owes you finally pays you back. Little things and big things, all at once, like heaven is making up for lost time. And the shame you've been carrying about money? That's leaving too, because you're about to step into a season where you're not the one always asking, you're the one who has enough to give. Not because you got rich overnight, but because the flow changed. Money stops running away from you and starts running toward you. Your file says it's already in motion. The angels assigned to your provision just got new orders. And in the next few days, maybe even the next few hours, you're going to see the first sign of it. Stay alert. Don't miss it. Because when you see it, you're going to know this message was real. Type this in the comments right now. My provision is released. Say it out loud. Let heaven hear you agree with what's already written. My provision is released. Now stay with me, because the next page is about relationships, and this one's going to surprise you. My child, there's someone in your life who's been blocking your blessing. You might not have realized it. You might have thought you were being patient, or kind, or loyal. But heaven sees it different. This person, whether it's someone close or someone on the edges, their energy has been draining you, confusing you, keeping you stuck in a cycle that should have ended a long time ago. And your file says they're being removed, not by your hand. You don't have to fight. You don't have to confront. You don't have to explain yourself or defend your boundaries. Heaven is doing it. Spiritually first, then physically. They're going to step back, or step away, or show their true colors so clearly that even you, loyal, patient, kind, you won't be able to ignore it anymore. And when they go, you're going to feel something you haven't felt in a long time. Relief. Not anger, not bitterness, just peace. Because the space they took up is making room for someone else. Someone aligned, someone healed. Someone whose soul is tuned to the same frequency as your destiny. This person isn't coming to drain you, my beloved. They're coming to walk with you. And here's how you'll know it's them. You won't feel adrenaline. You won't feel anxiety. You won't feel like you have to perform or prove anything. You'll feel peace, calm, clarity. Like coming home after a long trip, that's the sign. Peace, not chaos. Rest, not hustle. Alignment, not effort. Your file says this person is already being prepared. Their path is bending toward yours, and the meeting isn't far off. But you gotta let go of what's blocking the door. Let heaven remove who needs to go. Don't hold on out of guilt or obligation or fear of being alone, because you're not going to be alone, my child. You're going to be surrounded by people who actually see you, value you, honor you. The loneliness is ending. Stay with me. There's one more thing on this page and it's going to blow your mind. My beloved, deep in the center of your file, there's something I didn't expect to see. A key, not a metaphor, not a symbol, a divine key, glowing, turning slowly, waiting, and next to it, written in script so elegant I can barely make it out, it says, "Give them the key. Let them open what's been locked for years." Do you understand what this means, my child? A key represents authority, access, permission. There are doors in your life, opportunities, relationships, breakthroughs, blessings that have been locked. Not because you weren't worthy, not because you didn't deserve them, because the timing wasn't right, because your spirit wasn't ready to handle what was behind them, because heaven was preparing you first. But now the preparation is done, and the key is being handed to you. Doors that wouldn't budge before, they're going to swing open. Chances you missed, they're circling back. Breakthroughs you thought were impossible, they're unlocking right in front of you. But here's the thing, my beloved. The key requires one response from you. Not money, not perfection, not some grand gesture. Just one thing. And I'm going to tell you what it is in the next part of this message. But before I do, I need you to do something right now. Type this in the comments. I receive the key. Don't think about it. Don't hesitate. Just type it. I receive the key. Because when you say it, heaven hears it as agreement, as acceptance, as faith. And the moment you agree, the key activates. Say it now. I receive the key. Good. Now stay with me. Because what I'm about to tell you next is the one thing you need to do to use that key. And it's simpler than you think. Don't scroll. Don't leave. Your breakthrough is sitting on the other side of the next 60 seconds. Stage 5. How to walk in the new season. 44-0, 54-0. My beloved child, listen to me carefully now. You can't walk into a new season carrying the language of the old one. You can't step into abundance while your mouth is still rehearsing poverty. You can't receive healing while you're narrating your sickness like it's a testimony you're proud of. I need you to understand something. Your words have been building your reality whether you knew it or not. Every time you said, "I'll never get out of this," you laid another brick in the prison. Every time you said, "Nothing ever works out for me," you agreed with the enemy's narrative instead of heaven's decree. And I'm not judging you, my child. I'm not condemning you. I'm telling you it stops today, right now, because your file says your season is changing, but your mouth has to come into agreement with what heaven already wrote. So here's what you do. This is practical. This is simple. This is something you can do today, tonight, and every morning after. When you wake up before your feet hit the floor, you say one sentence. Just one. God is ordering my steps today. That's it. You don't have to feel it. You don't have to believe it with every fiber of your being. You just say it. You speak it into the atmosphere. And at night, before you close your eyes, you say it again. God ordered my steps today. Past tense. Done. Finished. Even if the day was hard. Even if nothing made sense. Even if you're exhausted and heartbroken, you declare it anyway. Because declaration is not about how you feel, my beloved. It's about whose report you're going to agree with. And from this moment forward, you stop narrating your defeat. No more rehearsing heartbreak like it's a sermon you've been called to preach. No more telling everyone who will listen how bad it is, how hard it's been, how nothing ever changes. I know it's been bad. Heaven knows it's been bad. Your file is full of the evidence. But you're not in that chapter anymore. The page turned the moment you stayed and listened. So your mouth has to catch up with where your spirit is already going. Say this with me right now out loud if you can, in your heart if you can't. God is ordering my steps. Say it. Feel the shift as the words leave your lips. That's the sound of alignment, my child. That's the sound of a new season beginning. Now here's the second thing you need to do, and I'm going to be blunt with you because I love you too much to let you keep bleeding. You need to close some doors. Not tomorrow, not when it feels right, not when you're strong enough. Today, there are people in your life, maybe family, maybe old friends, maybe someone you used to love who are draining you. Every time you talk to them, you feel smaller. Every time you see their name on your phone, your chest tightens. Every conversation leaves you exhausted, doubting yourself, replaying everything you said, wondering if you're crazy. You're not crazy, my beloved. You're being drained. And heaven says it's time to protect your peace. I'm not telling you to be mean. I'm not telling you to burn bridges or send angry messages. I'm telling you block, mute, limit, step back. You don't owe toxic people access to your energy just because they're related to you. You don't owe explanations to people who never respected your boundaries in the first place. Your peace is more valuable than their approval. Your sanity is more important than keeping the peace. And if someone makes you feel guilty for protecting yourself, that's exactly how you know they needed to go. Let me say that again. If someone makes you feel guilty for protecting yourself, that's proof you made the right decision. So today, right now, I want you to think of one person who drains you. One name that just came to your mind as I said that. You know who it is. And I want you to do one thing to create distance. Delete the text thread. Mute their calls. Stop reaching out first. Just one action. That's all heaven is asking. One act of self-protection. And when you do it, I want you to type this in the comments. My peace is protected. Say it out loud. Declare it. Let heaven and hell both know you're not available for chaos anymore. You're entering a season where your energy is guarded, your time is sacred, and your peace is non-negotiable. Type it now. My peace is protected. Because it is, my child. It is. Now listen closely, because this next part is critical. Heaven is going to send you a sign. Not maybe. Not if you're lucky. Definitely. A sign that confirms everything I've been telling you. A sign that lets you know your breakthrough is real and it's close. It might come as a dream. You'll wake up and the dream will stay with you all day. You won't be able to shake it. It'll feel more real than your waking life. It might come as a number. You'll see the same number everywhere on clocks, on receipts, on license plates. And every time you see it, something in your spirit will quicken. It might come as a message. Someone you haven't heard from in years will reach out. Or someone will say something to you in passing that feels like it was sent directly from heaven. It might come as sudden clarity. You'll be sitting in the quiet and all of a sudden, boom, you'll just know what to do next. No confusion, no second guessing, just clear direction. It might come as a phone call, an invitation, an opportunity you didn't apply for. However it comes, my beloved, you're going to know. Your spirit will recognize it, even if your mind tries to talk you out of it. And when that sign comes, listen to me now. Don't overthink it. Don't analyze it to death. Don't wait for 3 more confirmations before you move. That's fear talking. That's the old season trying to keep you stuck. When the sign comes, you move. You say yes. You take the step. You trust that heaven doesn't send signs for entertainment. It sends them as invitations. And you've been waiting too long to start second-guessing the moment it finally shows up. So stay alert. Pay attention. Keep your spirit sensitive. Your sign is coming. Now here's something practical that's going to sound simple, but I promise you it matters. You need to prepare the house for the blessing. I'm not talking about a complete renovation. I'm not asking you to do something you physically can't do. I'm talking about one small act of preparation. Clean one corner. Organize one drawer. Open the blinds and let the light in. Throw away the clutter you've been holding on to because you might need it someday. Write out a simple budget, even if the numbers don't make sense yet, even if there's more month than money. The act of organizing says to heaven, I'm getting ready. It says, I believe something's coming and I'm making space for it. You see, my child, we don't do chaos in a new season. We don't walk into abundance with our lives in complete disarray. Order attracts blessing. Peace attracts favor. Preparation signals faith. So today, just one thing, one small corner of your life that you put in order. That's it. That's your act of partnership with heaven. And finally, this is the last thing, and it's the most important. You have to give God one step. Just one. Faith is not a feeling, my beloved. Faith is movement. Faith is doing the thing you're scared to do because heaven told you to do it. Maybe it's applying for one job, even though you don't think you'll get it. Maybe it's making one phone call you've been putting off. Maybe it's scheduling one doctor's appointment, one therapy session, one meeting with a financial counselor. Maybe it's asking for help when you've been too proud to admit you need it. Whatever it is, one step. Not 10, not a whole staircase. One. Because heaven doesn't ask you to see the whole path. It asks you to take the next step. And when you take it, the next one appears. That's how faith works. That's how breakthrough works. You move, then heaven moves. You step, then the door opens. You obey, then the blessing flows. So I'm asking you, what's your one step? What's the thing you know you're supposed to do but you've been waiting for the perfect time, the perfect feeling, the perfect circumstances? Do it today. Not tomorrow. Today. And while you're at it, make sure you're subscribed to this channel. I'm serious. This isn't just about supporting the message. This is about staying connected to the flow. Heaven speaks in sequence, my child. You don't get page 2 if you ignore page 1. You don't get the next instruction if you walk away from this one. So subscribe. Turn on notifications. Stay in the stream, because what I'm about to tell you in the next part is going to blow your mind. It's the final piece of your file. The one thing heaven has been holding back until you were ready to hear it. And you're ready now. So don't go anywhere. Don't scroll. Don't let distraction pull you away from the very thing you've been praying for. Stay with me. Your breakthrough is not coming. It's already here. And you're about to step into it. Final climax plus blessing plus cliffhanger, 54 to 0, 60 to 0. My beloved child, I need you to see what I'm seeing right now. The court of heaven is assembled. Not figuratively, not symbolically, literally. Your name is written in a circle of light so bright the angels have to shield their eyes. Your record is open on the table, every page glowing, every word pulsing with fire. And standing around that table are witnesses, celestial witnesses. They've been watching your journey from the beginning. They've seen every moment you thought you were alone, every night you cried yourself to sleep, every morning you got up, even though you had nothing left. And Archangel Michael, he's standing at the head of that table with his hand raised. He's not asking permission. He's making a declaration. This is what I heard him say, my child. Word for word, let them enter their new cycle. Not let them try. Not let them hope. Let them enter. As in, it's done, it's decreed, it's stamped in the heavenly record with a seal that cannot be broken. Your former life? Expired. Your season of delay? Over. Your time of testing? Completed. You are being moved right now into a timeline where the old rules don't apply anymore, where the old struggles don't have permission to follow you, where the people who used you, hurt you, betrayed you, no longer have access to your energy. Heaven just cut the cord, my beloved, and you didn't even have to fight for it. You're free. Do you hear me? You are free from needing their apology, free from waiting for them to realize what they did, free from carrying the weight of their guilt, their shame, their unfinished business. That was never yours to carry, and heaven just took it off your back. I know you wanted to hear them say sorry. I know you wanted them to understand the damage they caused. I know you wanted some kind of acknowledgement that what happened to you was wrong. But my child, heaven doesn't need their confession to execute justice. Heaven will handle the accounting, not with your hands, not with your words, not with you lifting a single finger. Divine justice moves different. It's surgical, it's precise, and it always, always comes back around. You don't need to watch it happen. You don't need to know when it happens. You just need to trust that it will. And more importantly, you need to let go of needing to see it, because your new season doesn't have room for revenge, it doesn't have room for bitterness, it doesn't have room for looking back. Your new season is about restoration, about reclaiming what was stolen, about stepping into the version of yourself that heaven always saw, even when you couldn't see it. Listen to me now, my beloved. You did not waste your life. I need you to hear that again. You did not waste your life. Every sacrifice you made, it mattered. Every kindness you showed, it was recorded. Every time you chose love, when you had every reason to choose hate, heaven saw it, and it's all being returned to you now. Not in the same form, not in the same measure, multiplied. The file says your blessings are coming back threefold. What you lost in relationships, you're getting back in divine connections that don't drain you. What you lost in finances, you're getting back in opportunities you didn't even apply for. What you lost in health, you're getting back in strength that defies the doctor's report. What you lost in hope, you're getting back in clarity so sharp you'll wonder how you ever doubted. This is not a maybe, my child. This is a decree, stamped, sealed, activated, and all you have to do is receive it. Right now, type this in the comments. I receive my new timeline. Don't type it half-heartedly. Don't type it as a wish. Type it as a declaration, because when you say it, heaven hears it, the angels witness it, and the shift that's already in motion accelerates. Type it now. I receive my new timeline. Say it out loud if you're alone. Let your voice carry the weight of agreement. This is your moment, my beloved. This is where everything changes. And I want you to do one more thing. Share this message with one person. Just one. Someone you know who's been silently drowning. Someone who smiles in public but falls apart in private. Someone who needs to hear that heaven hasn't forgotten them. Because here's the truth. Blessing multiplies when it's carried. When you extend this message to someone else, you're not just helping them, you're activating the overflow in your own life. Heaven rewards the faithful steward, the one who doesn't hoard the word but scatters it like seed. Share it, tag them, send it in a message. I don't care how you do it, just do it. Because the anointing on this word doesn't just bless you, it blesses everyone it touches. And when you become a conduit for that blessing, you step into a level of favor you've never experienced before. Now listen to me closely, my child. There is one last line in your file I haven't read yet. I've been holding it back because it's the most important one, and I can't give it to you in pieces. This line, this final entry, it contains a timing marker, a specific sign you're going to notice in the next few days that will confirm everything I've told you is real. It's not vague, it's not general, it's personal, it's undeniable, and when you see it, you're going to know without question that this message was divinely orchestrated. But I can't tell you what it is right now, not because I'm withholding it, because heaven said to wait. The next message, the one that's coming soon, that's when I'll read the final line. That's when I'll tell you exactly what the sign looks like, and more importantly, what you need to do the moment it shows up. Because this isn't just about receiving a blessing, my beloved. It's about stewarding it. It's about being ready when the door opens. It's about stepping through with confidence instead of hesitation. And the sign, the one written in your file, is heaven's way of saying, get ready. It's time. So here's what you do right now. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Turn on notifications, because when that next message drops, you cannot miss it. The timing is everything. And if you're not connected, if you're not aligned, if you're scrolling past because you got distracted, you might miss the exact instruction you need for the exact moment you're in. Don't let that happen. Heaven pulled you here for a reason. Your file is open for a reason. This word found you for a reason. Stay connected, stay ready, stay expectant. Because, my beloved child, your new timeline just started. And the best part? You haven't seen anything yet. The final page of your file contains something so powerful, so specific, so life-altering, that I can barely hold it in. But I have to wait. Because heaven's timing is perfect. And when you hear it, when I read that last line to you, you're going to fall to your knees. Not in despair, in worship. Because you'll finally understand why everything had to happen the way it did. Why the delays were necessary. Why the pain was preparation. Why the tears were building a bridge to your destiny. Stay with me, my child. Your breakthrough is closer than your next breath. And I'll see you in the next message. Don't miss it.